the real Christianity that I'm inviting you to is where you follow Jesus as his disciple. And I would put it to you, friend, I don't know your name, so what name would you? Hamza. I would put it to you, Hamza, that actually everything that your Quran says about my religion is false, except for one statement, is that the Quran says...
I have no questions. I'm just interested in how you're saying it. That's all.
Okay, so your question?
No question.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, any questions? Yeah, go on, bro.
Because I was standing here, you guys all went
Sorry, bro. No, he's asking a question now.
Christianity, you believe that God is dependent somehow on creation. But I think that's the whole point of the Trinity, is that he is both the other and the one. And that's why he is absolute, and he's more absolute than Allah would ever be.
So let me explain. The reason why Christians don't have this problem in our religion is because we believe in an essence-energy distinction. We say in God's essence, God is not dependent upon creation at all.
Nothing.
In no way. But in some, not all, but in some of his energies, it requires us to exist. And in those particular specific relational energies, like creating, like giving mercy, we have to exist. And Christians are totally comfortable with that fact because we don't have a self-contradictory idea like al-Ghaniya. So
Absolute love, and then love requires...
So love is not one of those attributes, love is not one of those energies that is dependent upon creation. God is love, and the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit love themselves before creation. So that wouldn't be one of those attributes. But the attribute of giving mercy, the essence of giving mercy requires someone to exist to receive mercy.
I think that both...
Do you want to come in?
Yeah, but I probably don't agree with you with most of the things.
So can I ask other people to ask questions? And then I'll come back to you to another question.
I'm just having a conversation.
Yeah, any other questions, ladies and gentlemen? And then I'll come back to you if you've got another question.
Why is Christianity decreasing in followers?
Right. So the question is, why is Christianity decreasing in followers? This is a common myth spread by the enemies of the Christian faith. If you go to Pew Research, a academic body not run by Christians, not populated by Christians, and you look at the big major census that they did about the Christian church, the Christian faith is still a growing religion.
Okay, so why
No, I'm answering your question. Let me finish. Yeah, don't interrupt. The reality is, people who say, why is Christianity dying, have believed a lie. And they have believed a lie created by the enemies of Christianity, who are trying to dishearten Christians by telling us that our religion is emptying out. In the Western world, Christianity is undergoing a massive apostasy. But in the African world, the Asian world, the Christian faith is increasing. The fastest growing religion in Islamic Iran is Christianity. The fastest growing religion in Islamic Indonesia is Christianity. The fastest growing religion in Islamic North Sudan is Christianity. I have a question for Muslims. You ask us about why our religion is dying. I ask you, why are your Muslims abandoning Sharia law? Why are they fleeing from Sharia law? Why do they prefer the laws and the lands of the kuffar over the lands of the Muslims? Let me take another question.
Listen, I'm not here for a lecture.
Right, would you like to have a debate?
Not a debate, I'm trying
We'll
to
have a
learn.
conversation then.
I have a learn, I've got a couple of questions.
Yeah, go on
It's
then.
going to be a lecture now, I'll just go to another stand.
Yep.
So I asked you why Christianity is decreasing.
Which is a false premise.
Okay. Why churches turned into nightclubs?
Okay, so let me answer that question. The reason why churches are turned into nightclubs is simply because the Christian population in the West is decreasing.
No, if you look
No,
at it,
hold on
even
one
if
second.
you
You've
look at
asked
it
a question,
overall,
allow me to answer.
If you look at it overall as well, even in all the countries you have...
What, like Romania?
No, you've cherry-picked some countries where Christianity maybe has increased.
It's you that's cherry picking.
I'm not cherry-picking.
You are
I'm
cherry-picking.
living in
What does Pew Research
I'm
say?
talking about UK.
Oh,
if you're going to talk about overall
so that's cherry picking.
plurality,
So that's cherry picking.
Islam has been increasing.
You said Christianity is decreasing. That's
I said why.
that's false.
I said why.
Yes, that's false. And the reason why Christianity, so let's make it specific now to the UK.
Still also why
So let's make it
churches turn
specific.
into nightclubs?
So let's make it specific to the UK. The reason why Christianity is dying in the UK is because Christianity has been hijacked by what's called the religion of humanity. It's a liberal religion, it's a soy boy religion, and lots of Christians are malformed in their faith and they're not practicing the faith fully. And for that reason, no one is convinced by this watered down Christianity, and it puts people off and people leave, and I don't blame them. That's why Christianity is dying in the UK. Specific answer, specific question. Why are they turned into nightclubs? Because when the church tries to sell property, it has a kind of order that it tries to give that property to, but including in that order is some kind of public use, and if it can't sell it to a higher level group, like, for instance, another religious group, particularly another Christian group, or another religious group of another religion, or some public good like turning it into a GP, it goes down a list, and at some point it's like we can't sell it to any of these people above, but if someone wants to turn it into a nightclub and they sell the building.
So let me ask you a question. See, as a Muslim, we believe in Christianity, we believe in Jesus.
No, you don't.
Yes, we do. I do.
No, you don't.
I do. No, you can't tell me what I believe and what I believe.
What is Christianity?
Well, it's one of the religions which is created by Allah. Definitely.
That's not Christianity.
Whatever it is, whatever I know is this. Christianity. Isa alayhi salam is what we call Jesus. We believe in it. We have no objection. Yeah, it's in the Quran.
No. You don't understand what I'm saying. You don't believe in the Jesus of the Bible.
I do believe in Isa alayhi salam.
No, that's not the Jesus of the Bible.
That is Jesus.
Is it really?
Yes, it is. 100%.
So would Isa say these words?
No, listen. I'm not. Listen.
No, you've made a claim.
I am not as learned, or I don't go through scriptures as such. I'm just telling you what I believe. In the Quran,
Yes.
what I have read,
Yes.
what we all know,
Yeah.
as Muslims, we believe in Jesus. It's not like we're against Jesus. See, most of the things we're taught in the Christianity Bible
Yeah.
is the same as the Quran as well. Even with the Jews,
Yeah.
we believe in Moses, we call them Musa alayhi salam.
Yeah.
So the same thing, it came from the religion which Allah has created and passed down to us. But my question to you, in terms of Christianity, why churches are turned into nightclubs, now let me ask you a question. As a Muslim, if a mosque was turned into a nightclub, that's a big no-no, regardless of it being economically viable and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Anywhere around the world, you will not find a mosque turned into a nightclub. And if Allah or God actually says, you know what, this is my religion and these are what I am teaching, this is the right religion, He would never allow a Christian church to be turned into a nightclub unless their followers generally are going away from their faith, and this is what's happened.
Okay.
These are stats, these
Can
are
I reply
facts.
to that?
However,
Can I reply to that?
yeah, sure.
Okay, so there's a lot of false premises in what you said, so I'm just going to go through them and correct them. So you said, as a Muslim, you believe in Christianity. This is factually fallacious. It's factually false. The thing that you are misdescribing as Christianity in the Quran has absolutely no relevance to historical Christianity at all. And we can prove this by quoting a first century document that was written between the years 00 and 100, the book of Revelations. Let me finish. Where Jesus said, "Behold, I am coming quickly, and my reward is with me, to render to every man according to what he has done. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the first and the last, the beginning and the end." Only God is the first and the last, and the Quran describes God as the first and the last. Jesus is calling himself the first and the last in the Bible, and therefore the Jesus that we Christians believe in the Bible is not the Isa that you believe in the Quran. They're completely different figures. So that's the first point. Second point that you made is that you said that it's a sign that Christianity is dying, that churches are being turned into nightclubs. Well, there are mosques in South Africa that are being turned LGBTQT friendly. Yes, there are. It's on record. Check me if you don't wrong. And so the fact that an institutional building can be taken over by a non-believing group is not proof of the validity or invalidity of a belief system. And the reality is that the Quran has many errors in its descriptions of Christians' belief. So, for instance, the Quran says, "I believe in three gods." No Christian believes in three gods. The Quran. Now notice how rude you're being. Notice how rude you're being, because you insisted that I listen to you, but now you're interrupting and you're talking to someone else, and that's all right. I've come to expect that from Muslims that I meet in the park. It's kind of normal. So now the reality is that you can find these mosques that have been taken over by LGBTQ/ideologues. Mosques exist like that. The reality that some people do something wrong in the name of a religion doesn't disprove the religion. That's the fallacy that you're working to. And you're and what I would ask you is, why does the Quran say I believe in 3 gods when no Christian text, either in the Bible or outside of the Bible, no Christian text in the Bible or outside the Bible says I believe in 3 gods?
May I jump in now?
Yeah, of course.
So again, you're just going on to our next 2-3 line defences you have going. A specific question to you. You still haven't answered.
I did.
You did not.
Well, the people can decide.
Mosque are not turned into the thing.
Have an example of it, right?
Doesn't matter what that says. It genuinely doesn't. Have you been there physically yourself? Have you seen it yourself?
Are you denying it?
I am denying it.
On what grounds?
Because that's not what Muslim faith does.
Exactly. So you're making the Truman Capote fallacy. You're saying that this isn't representative of Islam, and what I'm saying is that churches that get turned into nightclubs doesn't represent Christianity.
I'm not saying it's representing Christianity. I'm saying as a question, why is that happening?
Yes, and I've addressed that.
And you're saying it from an economical point of view, that because there's nobody going there.
I actually gave a sociological answer before I gave an economic answer.
So I guess nobody is going to those churches to be, I don't know.
Yeah, because watered down Christianity is not convincing.
This is in the UK?
This is in the UK. Civic religion, the religion of the Church of England, is not real Christianity. It is the religion of humanity, which is a watered down civic religion of rituals to mark the passing of time and national ceremonies. That's why the king goes to Westminster Abbey to get coronated. It's why on Memorial Day on the 11th of November, we have a big national ceremony. It's a civic religion. Real Christianity is what I'm inviting you to, and this is the fallacy that you're working to. The real Christianity that I'm inviting you to is where you follow Jesus as his disciple. And I would put it to you, friend, I don't know your name, so what name would you? Hamza. I would put it to you, Hamza, that actually everything that your Quran says about my religion is false, except for one statement, is that the Quran says that if God had a son, we should worship him.
But in what terms is the Quran saying? Is the Quran saying anything wrong about Christianity?
Right, yes, it is. It's saying multiple things that are wrong about Christianity.
Sorry, what you said now?
Yeah, so the Quran states in black and white that if God has a son, we should worship the son. It says in black and white.
Where?
I'll show you. Yeah, of course. It's a fair question. And the thing is, this is the only accurate thing the Quran actually says about Christianity.
Oh, okay.
Every single other thing that the Quran says about Christianity is a downright error, not worthy of a child doing a GCSE.
But let's be fair, their virgin birth is accurate. The virgin birth.
Well, no, because the Quran says that the spirit of Allah came down and blew into the vagina of Mary.
Right.
That's what the Quran says. Even the virgin birth is not accurate. So, let's go.
Can I see that Quran?
Yes, in a second. I'm going to show you.
Can I see it?
I'm going to show you in a second, yes. Literally said yes. Literally said yes.
Yes, of course. It's fact check.
Right. So, here's now you asked me to show you the Quran. I'm going to show you the Quran. No, I will hold my own Quran.
Give me the reference.
Yeah, you can pull it up in your Quran if you want. So it's Surah 45, Ayah 81. Say, so this is Allah saying to Muhammad, say, if Allah Most Gracious had a son, I would be the first to worship. So the Quran is saying that if Allah had a son, we should worship the son. But please do, please.
Sorry, you said Quran 45.
43, 81.
No, wait. Surah 40. Surah 40, is that 9?
Surah 43.
43, 81.
81. Would you like to verify now?
Yeah, check it.
Yeah.
The Arabic, just in case.
You guys from an Arab country?
No, we're from Scotland.
Does the accent not give it away?
We see you all on YouTube, so we thought we'd just come and check it
because
out.
every Arab sounds like he's a Scotty. Bro.
Oh, sorry. Oi, I interviewed Alex Salmon on Sundays. And he's like, share and subscribe to the street, mate. Big up.
they reinterpret God's Son affairs against prophet, then indeed we are certain of the things. Or do they think that we do not hear their secret talk and private counsel?
So my point is, while the brothers confirm what I'm saying, is that the Quran is acknowledging the reality that if the Father has a Son, then the Son is worthy of worship. And we agree with the Quran. That's the only statement in the Quran that the Quran gets right. It's the only 100% correct statement by the Quran about what Christians believe. That if the Father has a Son, the Son is worthy of worship.
Thank you, Allah. He is telling them that Allah doesn't have a son. But that if Allah has son, he would have been the first to worship him.
It's Rahman.
Yeah, that is Allah.
Who's Rahman? Who's Al-Rahman?
Yeah. You're right. That's what he said.
Yeah.
He said if Allah. So I think God is talking to the prophet.
Yes, he is.
That he doesn't have a son.
Yes, that's correct.
And the prophet is telling people that if God has a son, I would have been the first
Right,
to
firstly,
worship
let me just
him.
correct you. It's not, according to Islamic belief, Muhammad that's saying that. It's Allah commanding Muhammad to say that. So these are Allah's words, not Muhammad's words. And Allah is saying to Muhammad that if he had a son, you would be the first to worship. In other words, Allah is saying that if I had a son, you should worship him. Now, hold on one second. Hold on one second. Christians believe that the Father has a son, the divine Logos. Let me show you.
So what's your name, sir?
Bob.
It says if he had a son.
Yes, I'm not saying it does.
No, listen. You are saying it does.
No, I'm not saying it.
No, he didn't
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
If he had a son.
Referencing what the Quran said, and it's right.
If he had a son.
Yes, that's
I
correct.
mean, does he have a son or does he not have a
The
son?
Quran does not believe that Allah has a son. But the Quran is stating that if Allah had a son, he would be worthy of worship. And that's where me as a Christian says amen to the Quran. Finally, someone has done it. I am saying amen to some lines in the Quran. I'm saying it's right.
That's factual.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Right? So let me show you that God has a son.
I don't understand. He's saying if he had a son.
Should I explain what he's saying?
It's a conditional statement.
No.
If he had a
What
son.
he is saying is, Allah says to Muhammad that if he had a son,
As in if Allah had a
if
son.
Allah had a son, that Muhammad
would worship the son.
first worshipper.
Worship the son.
That he would have worshipped the son.
Yeah.
So
And
Muhammad
yet-
doesn't worship
No, he
because there is
doesn't.
no son.
Yeah, no one's
No,
saying that.
that's-
No one's
Okay,
no one's accusing Muhammad of worshipping the Son of God. No one's saying that.
If,
Yeah, it's all based on an if.
That's fine.
But the point is the conditional
agree
if,
now, the Christian
the
now.
conditional if acknowledges that if the Father has a son, then we should worship the Son.
Yeah.
And that's what Christians believe, the Father has a son. Let me show you why. So it says in Genesis, God, after he spoke long ago to the fathers in the prophets in many portions and in many ways, in these last days has spoken to us in his Son, whom he also made, through whom he also made the world, and he is the radiance of the glory and the exact representation of his nature. So what Christians believe is that before creation, before time, before space, eternally, without beginning, without end, the Son is begotten of the Father, and because he is begotten of the Father, he has the essence, the substance of the Father, and thus he is divine. And then God goes on to say, the Father goes on to say, and let all the angels of God worship him. So the Bible is saying that we should worship the Son, and the Quran is saying that if God has a son, we should worship him. So, as I said, the Quran agrees that if God has a son, we should worship the Son.
Bob, thank you so much for your time.
Okay? Have a lovely day.
Thank you so much.
Have a lovely day. God bless.